Hi everyone, I'm Nathan with the ebookreader.com. For this video I'm going to do a comparison review between the Samsung Galaxy Tab A here on the left and the Galaxy Tab E Lite here on the right. So these are both new 7-inch tablets from Samsung for 2016 here. So I wanted to do a comparison between them. They're both very similar in a lot of ways, but they also have some differences as well. So let's go ahead and talk about the hardware aspects of these two devices first. So they both have 8 gigabytes of internal storage space, and they both have the exact same processor. It's a 1.3 gigahertz quad-core processor, so there's really not much any kind of significant difference between them as far as performance, other than the Galaxy Tab A has a newer version of Android with some more optimizations for a little bit more speed. So, but overall, they're very comparable as far as that goes. The biggest difference with these two tablets is their screen. So this one has a 1280 by 800 resolution screen, so that's like 215 pixels per inch, and then the Galaxy Tab E Lite has a 1024 by 600 resolution screen, which is 171 pixels per inch. So so I don't know how well it's going to show up on this camera here, but so with the Tab A, it has the stronger viewing angles. You can see the colors when you tilt the tablet a lot better than you can on the Tab E Lite, and we've also got stronger colors than we do on the Tab E Lite. They're just a little bit more, they're not quite as like vibrant. And like I said, the viewing angles, the colors kind of go a little bit out when you do the tilting, especially like from the top. It gets really a different color to it. Oranges especially, take a look at the orange colors. Like when you tilt it this way, the orange it completely changes color. So a couple other differences with the Tab A's, we have some different like screen options up here. We have reading mode, which sort of just subtly softens the color of the screen. It's very subtle. So if you have like a white display on here, you can see it goes sort of from like a bluish color to sort of just a subtle like warmish color instead. And it also has outdoor mode, which increases the brightness even more, and it will automatically turn off after 15 minutes. So we got definitely a lot more a range of brightness settings on the Tab A, and it goes, what I really like is it goes super low. For nighttime reading, like if you use your tablet at night, I mean, it gets so low you can barely see it, except for like when there's no light. So you don't have to use like a screen filter app or anything like that. I really appreciate the low brightness setting on that tablet, because this one, it gets kind of dim, but it still hurts the eyes at night, so I have to use a brightness dimming app. So when it comes to design, they both have the same like sort of layout, just like all Samsung tablets. Basically, you got the home button down here and the sensors for back and recent apps, and then on the one side you've got a volume button, power button. The other side has the micro SD card slot, and then on top you got a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, the USB port, and then on the bottom there's a microphone. So I mean, it's the exact same with the Galaxy Tab E Lite, so the overall design is basically identical. They both have the back cameras. This one's better on the Tab A. We got 5 megapixel, it's 2 megapixel on the Tab E Lite. The speakers are about the same. They don't really sound much different. The micro SD card capacity is a lot higher on the Tab A. It's 200 gigabyte capacity, whereas on the Tab E Lite it's 32 gigabyte capacity. The Tab E Lite doesn't have a front camera, and then the Tab A does. It has a 2 megapixel front camera. Overall, the size is quite a bit slimmed down on the Tab A. It's probably about a 1/4 inch shorter, probably about both ways. It's a 1/4 inch smaller. It's also a little thinner and about 30 grams lighter. They both have solid build quality, but the Tab A, it definitely does feel more solid. It's more thin than the Tab E. It has solid build quality too, but it's more of a plastic feel to it. It still feels nice and solid, so it's not bad, but definitely the Tab A has a better feel to it, more premium feel, even though it's sort of like a midline tablet too. Okay, so basically the Tab A replaces the Galaxy Tab 4 7-inch model. It's a lot like it. It's almost the exact same. It doesn't have the IR blaster. That's about the one difference, and it has a few upgrades. And then the Tab E Lite 3, or the Tab E Lite, it replaces the Galaxy Tab 3 Lite. So these are basically refreshes of current existing tablets. So also with the hardware, they both have GPS, Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi Direct. So there's a lot of the same features between these two. Obviously, like I said, the display is the biggest difference when it comes down to hardware. I definitely do think the Tab A's worth getting, because it's only $30 more than Tab E Lite, unless the Tab E Lite's on sale like it is right now. It's only $100, so this is $149. So it just sort of depends on what sales they have going on at the time to see which one's the better deal. But overall, definitely the Galaxy Tab A is the better tablet. So we've got two different operating systems here. So the Tab E Lite runs KitKat and the Galaxy Tab A runs Lollipop. So we got the two different operating systems, but there's not a whole huge lot of difference between the operating systems. I mean, there's some difference, but I'm not going to go through and pinpoint every little minor detail, because for the most part you can install the same apps, you still have the same functionality. They both come with the Google Play Store and the Google app on board, and they also have Samsung's custom app store and some custom Samsung apps like the Samsung Kid app. The CNN for Samsung is on this one, and it's also on that one. So they've got a lot of the same apps. There's a couple of differences, like this one comes with the radio app, which picks up your local radio stations. You don't need an internet connection or anything. You just have to plug in headphones to the headphone jack to work as an antenna, and you have radio on board. So this one doesn't have the radio app. One difference with it though is it has the Kindle for Samsung app available from the Galaxy Tab App Store, and with that you can get a free ebook from Amazon each month from a selection of 4. For some weird reason that app isn't available on the Tab A. Okay, so one significant difference between the two tablets because of the screen resolution, the Tab A will play HD movies. You have the HD option. Because of the higher resolution screen, you do have the HD video option. Whereas the Galaxy Tab E Lite, you don't have the HD because of the lower resolution screen. It can only play standard definition video, so obviously you get the better detail and the higher resolution videos on the Galaxy Tab A, but not the Tab E Lite. So like I was saying, they both have the same 1.3 gigahertz quad-core processor, so like this performance for video games and stuff like this is basically going to be the same. The Galaxy Tab A does have more RAM, so you're going to have some boost in performance. It has 1.5 gigabytes of RAM, and the Galaxy Tab E Lite right here, it has 1 gigabyte of RAM. But for the most part, I mean, for games like this, they perform the same. You're not going to have any lagging issues, and they both work well. So overall, the performance is very similar. You just got some hardware upgrades on the Tab A over there, better screen and more RAM, and then you've also got the better cameras, and it also has a couple extra apps on here, like the radio app. Okay folks, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video review right here. Check out the ebookreader.com for additional details. I have full reviews posted of each of these tablets going into further detail with their individual features and software features and hardware features. So check that out if you want some additional information, as well as the ebookreader.com.